your ass.
Where's her current like that?
That shit heavy hearted. Shit not need.
I feel like, yo.
Saw the gangster, man. Talk about it.
How is good like that? What? This dude, it's not even blue.
I don't know. It's the heat, nigga.
That shit made that shit lean, nigga. That
melted
shit.
the stand, nigga.
That shit tired. Shit tired.
Shit is perspirating.
Yo, why that shit tired like that? Yo, really, this shit really like doing some.
It's on the gangster lean.
What's going on here?
They got scoliosis.
Is it on the cord? The cord's wrapped around?
You did this. You did this. That's why you're making that noise.
You did it, kitty. Yeah. This is a good shit.
Sorry, folks.
We had to scratch post like the light. Keep your heads ringing. No matter what the crisis says.
Yo, I did watch Friday the other day, so you just said keep your heads ringing. I was thinking about ring, ding, dong. Ring, ding, 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 dong. Keep your heads ringing. Hey, you! Sitting over there. You better get up out of your chair. I don't know the rest.
I don't know that part.
I don't know that part neither.
That's the beginning of the song.
I never heard
That's like the
that
first
before.
verse.
Well, you're recording.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Get Lifted. 30 is the new 20. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And hit the notification bell so you're notified the next time we post or go live. I'm Laheffa.
I'm CrisxmasOnDemand.
SmileyJizzle.
And if you haven't watched, if you didn't get to catch our live last week, then it's available now. It was re-premiered it at 8 o'clock, so go check that out.
Go check it. It's about G20.
Yeah, we talk about G20 with Viola Davis and how that's relative to reality and much more. Go check it out. How's everybody's weekend?
It was
Eventful.
it was chill. Mine was chill.
I mean, it's Easter weekend, so, you know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff going on. Like, I gotta go down south.
That's actually
in
dope.
a few weeks. It is dope. It's good to go down south just to go down here. Like, it doesn't even matter why you're going down there. It's good for a change of scenery. Their air is a little different.
How far
We
drive
not-
though?
We're not driving.
Oh,
We're
okay.
flying.
God
Which
bless.
I mean, yeah, pray for me.
He just assumed he was like, because you can't be flying right now.
Yo, fly, like, right. Four volcano eruptions.
What?
Yeah. Crazy
Four?
shit. 4 volcano eruptions.
Like back to back to back? Like not
like
all the way.
pretty
around.
much in the same week
So like they had
or
activity.
the same few weeks or so.
Cause like when I hear
They
like
erupted.
when I hear like volcanoes erupted, I be feeling like they're all catastrophic. Like
You think like Pompeii or some shit, right?
yeah.
Nah.
Cause like,
The reason that happened is because of the world's understanding of those catastrophes. Like, they didn't really know, like, they worshiped the fucking volcano and shit. The shit never did shit. Then they was like, yo, we too close to this bitch. Something about to happen. Now it's too late, because the shit is already shooting rocks and shit. You know what I mean? Everybody that's in with a certain vicinity is done.
Right.
You know what I mean? But now there's evacuation plans, like all of these, like, I mean, volcanoes still fuck people up, but it's not like crazy like that because their evacuation plans have got way better. They got helicopters and you know, they know that it's getting bad. They have people that's always checking them and shit, making sure that they're good. The archaeologists or whatever, whoever the people are that check the mountains and shit. Those motherfuckers are checking it around the clock. And then when they see that it's about to get pretty bad, then they start getting everybody like Dante's Peak. Remember that movie with Pierce Brosnan? They start getting people the hell out of there.
You was in it.
Yo, you
like
know
the
what?
thing
That shit keep
again.
moving. Yo, that shit drunk. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's doing that. Something is wrong.
Something's afoot.
Now we all the way up. Fix first of all, that ball bearing right there, that should be straight. Cause that's probably one thing. Yeah. Cause the weight of the camera. So you gotta loosen it. Oopsies.
Loose neck.
That's a new one. They got short neck or long. What is the people call?
Oh no.
Long neck, wide neck.
Yeah.
These are sorry people, some technical difficulties. We'll do
Bear with us. I'm cutting this out. That ain't the right one.
yeah, it is.
Oh, 'cause it's delayed.
Yep.
Right there.
Don't get the alcohol on the table. Ain't supporting this shit.
Well, I am, but I was about to say. I was about to say. We should get some deli on shot.
Alright, you can't move and the cat can't hit it.
But you can't do a little. Okay, no, that's good.
You can't touch it at all. Don't think you fix it or nothing.
No, it's fine.
Nah, cause you got OCD. Wait, let me turn it up. Don't do nothing. Right now it's perfect.
But if it moves again.
It ain't moving because I'm looking at the screen. Don't worry about what you see because what you see is delayed.
Yeah, but it's caught up as you sat down.
What happened to music? Like,
oh, shout out.
Right.
Huh?
Music used to be lit.
and it used to be like different, races of people. I feel like it's only rap right now. That's like popular music. It's like just rap.
No, there's other music.
I mean, there is, but it's like it's not as connected. Like
rap. I know some rock songs that
that's what I'm saying. But there's none of that no more. Like the YNs now, the young dudes now, they don't listen to the rock now, right?
Right.
And it's not as integrated as it was back in the day where DMX might listen to I don't know, fucking Carlos Santana. Nah, he had to put the charger in.
So we got a little deli on, brought to have some shots. And we don't condone none of Diddy's behavior, but I like tequila and I wanted to try. I was about to say, Dwayne over there stripping. He's giving him a show.
Sorry, folks. We could censor that if you like. I know why.
I paid $5.99 for our
my chest is a little,
Yo.
my chest is a little X-rated. I need to do some sit-ups and some crunches and some other exercises.
Who did your hair, bro?
Some yoga. Oh, great friend of mine.
That friend is did a very good job.
Who's a great friend?
He did. Girl I've been talking to for a little bit.
I was gonna say you look like a Jamaican artist named Popcorn.
Yo!
She turned you into Popcorn, my nigga.
Yo.
Not Pop Smoke, Popcorn. Oh, Pop Smoke. It's a Jamaican artist.
Jamaican artist. I know who he is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, that look is definitely like that. Nigga, if you started speaking Patois, I already know, nigga. I'm like, yo, this nigga.
Patois.
You got something? Here, shut your
Yeah.
Hard work.
Oh, that was funny, yo.
Oh, man. We have fun. Yo, man. It's so much shit going on, man. I don't even know where to start.
I want to say something.
Is there so? Okay, go ahead. Go with your topic. Cause my topic is bullshit.
Nah, I got a real topic.
Hot topic culture. So it's really just somebody else's business, but I thought it was interesting.
Nah, this is a real critique.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I want to hear what your thing is, because yours is probably more constructive.
Why do some women say they don't want to submit, but want a man to lead in all the hard areas? Like, you want him to protect and provide. Like, if somebody break in the house, you expect him to go downstairs and go put his life on the line, but you don't want to listen.
Now, what did our 70, I'm not going to say her age because she's going to be mad at me, but
70 plus.
Our 70 plus minister, married aunt say about her 31-year-old marriage?
I believe she said, and I might be mistaken, she didn't start submitting until about 20 years in.
Damn. That's crazy. What? So she was married for like.
But he's a good man.
Yeah, but so what was the problem?
That's
crazy.
Because she was.
We had an in-depth conversation about this. He even
woman.
chimed in. This was good. I wish they could have been up here and smoked J with us.
Yeah, really. Right? Yeah, that part won't. But yeah, it was a good conversation. He did. She's like a modern. She's not modern because she's older, but she's still alive in these times. So she took care. She always hustling. She always find a way to make money. She make baskets. She make blankets.
But why is that? What did she say? What was the key component of that she said? If you can remember, I remember.
What do you say? Because I don't remember.
All right. So key component, as she said, is that she's always taking care of herself.
Yeah, that's why I brought up the hustling.
She's had kids that, and I'm not going to tell my family business, but I'm about to just say this. She's had kids that weren't with the guy that she's with, and they know him as their father. You know what I mean? And he stepped up, did what he did, despite maybe some challenges that come with being with her. And he, she decided that she would follow him at some point.
20 years in.
But it took a while of having to deal with some of the trauma that she possibly may have had. You know what I mean? So maybe some things she had to find out, she had some things that she had to deal with herself to realize, I am confident in him and I know he's going to make the best decisions. I know he's going to lead me the right way. And I know that, we both have they both have a love with God, right?
So that's where they
so they have such a strong love with God together,
he bishop
and he understands all of what's in the book, it's kind of how they live their life to the best of their ability.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So as far as him being the leader, it that became something that she would follow as she got further into that. And mind you, she's in her 70s, so you gotta wait this long for this. So, and I see how they love each other, but it's not always good. It's not always bad. You have to accept that it's not always gonna be great all the time.
She said that too.
But at some point, you have to realize what you have.
It's give and take.
What you have is give and take, and he said the same thing. He said, you know, she may be doing something, and she may not be doing it the right way, and I just may know how to show her how to do it a better way. And I'm like, yeah, you know, like that's exactly what it is. That's her following your leadership, but it has to take time with her being stubborn before she gets to that point. And then how tolerant would you have to be? But that also shows the test of a man. He's gotten to a point where what would seem excessive to us doesn't seem too excessive to him. He has a level of stoicism where he's like
desensitized,
kind of in a way desensitized to it, or maybe has a more firmer understanding that this is just how these individuals are wired. So I have to accept this because there can be immensely worse. Now there's wives who don't say shit and shut the fuck up, but is that really a happy relationship?
Do you think there can be immensely better, since there can be immensely worse?
There can always be improvements, I believe.
No, I'm saying in his specific situation.
Yeah, I think there can always be improvements.
If he chose, I'm saying like outside of your auntie, right? If he chose somebody else, do you think that he could have, him specifically, could have found better, or he found the best that he is gonna get?
I don't know.
Not what he believes, what you believe.
I'm saying, okay, what I believe is I don't know, because he's my senior, almost 80 years and shit. You know what I mean? You know, I don't know what his life was like before he met her. He could have been in a terrible place, and she found him in a terrible place and helped him out of that situation.
I think that type of guy is gonna let you know that, yo, this person.
But then if she did that, then he knows what he has, and that's why he decides to tolerate that.
That's what I'm saying.
So
my point
I don't know.
That, all right, so you don't know, but my point with that is, I feel like everybody can be in better situations, but it's the situation that you're the most happy with.
Right.
So if he's the most happy in his situation, God bless.
That's what I'm saying.
You see what I'm saying?
And I feel
but
like
hold on. There's another side to that too.
What's that?
The other side is, if he's not happy a lot and decides to, suppress that because he feels like, you know what, it's cheaper to keep her type energy, it could be that too. You see what I'm saying? And that is not healthy for nobody. You know who is a perfect example of that, in my opinion, is Will Smith. We know he's been in his relationship for however long. We had our assumptions about it at first because it's, black love, right? And then over the years, I don't know what the fuck that is, but people stop wanting their relationship. And you shouldn't want anybody else's relationship anyways, but you are inspired by what you see.
Right.
So once it becomes like, yo, I'm literally crashing out for this woman, and like she still don't really appreciate it, which it seems that way. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors with them, but
it's not to that extreme. I think she's still a good woman, because she still does the traditional thing, like she cooks and cleans and stuff. I think he knows how to cook too, but she still does. She still is a woman, but she's gonna tell you what's on her mind.
But 20 years to say that, like, you
But I
didn't want to
think
submit in 20 years?
I think a lot of women
That's
don't
kind of
want.
crazy for me.
A lot of women
That's
don't.
a hell of a lot of patience.
A lot of women don't are afraid to submit because, like you said, you got to build up that trust. And if you've been lived on this earth, like you said, prior to this, using this as an example, she had other children, or she had children from a previous relationship, and I don't know how that ended, but they're not. She's with someone else now, so obviously it didn't work out. So you don't know what type of trauma. A lot of people go through it ended for a reason. You're not together for a reason, so something went wrong. So that affects you. You carry that with you, and then like you said, if you're used to like taking care of yourself your whole life, it's hard to like put that. Well, that's only from a financial standpoint, but that goes into leadership too. Like if I'm taking care of myself, like I trust myself more than anybody else to take care of myself. Like if I put my trust in you and like, oh, you're the provider, you're paying all the bills, or you're doing this, or you're controlling everything basically in this relationship. But at any moment you could just take it away, like, or you could put it over my head, and you have to be able to get to a level of trust. And yeah, that might be a long amount of time for some people, but to him it was worth it, and they're still together. But like if you've been on this earth, you're gonna go through stuff, and then your upbringing, you go through different stuff, and you carry that with you. Then you get into certain relationships that you shouldn't be in sometimes because of your upbringing, because you think certain behavior is normal and it's okay because that's what you. And that's just general. Like I think a lot of people have that. Like they might be with someone that reminds them of their parent or something, and their parent might be like ratchet or something, and you think like this is how women are supposed to be. Your mom wasn't submissive, so you think I'm not supposed to be submissive because she said I don't need a man, and she did it by herself or whatever. So if she's telling you that but as a kid you don't. If no one's saying that, you just seeing how she moving, and nobody's in a like if you're a person that you didn't see nobody married, or if they were married they didn't stay married, or these days people are just sleeping with each other. They don't even be in a relationship. That's a marriage. They don't even be claiming each other as boyfriend and girlfriend, at least on a basic level. They just made a mistake and then used protection. You were just having casual sex. Like, you know how many people I know that they literally said like, oh, we were just messing around, and then we didn't use protection, so they ended up being. And it's like this is just the norm now. And then you do that and create in these broken homes, and that comes with certain things. In most cases, it puts a lot of stress on the mom because that's typically the parent that is responsible. Or if you lose a parent to like they're no longer on this earth, like that's traumatic because they're not there. Like even if you knew them or they were gone before you were there, it matters to have another parent. So when people be like, I don't need a man, and you have a kid, it's crazy. Maybe you don't need one, okay, or you don't want one, but your child needs the other parent because that's why it took two of you to create it. Right. So those like things like that, can prohibit you from wanting to submit because you're afraid. Is a defense mechanism. You're like, I'm responsible for myself. I know I got me better than, or you might have a mindset, develop that mindset from being hurt that nobody got me like I got me. So you've been hurt so bad you don't want to give nobody the chance to, and they gotta kind of prove themselves to you, which we do vet people and stuff. But sometimes you can know somebody for 10 years and they could turn out to be a whole other person. There are people that are manipulative out there and like stuff like that. There are people that are sociopaths. I'm not that, but that's a real, diagnosis. Not saying everyone is. I'm just saying those type of people do exist, and they have a disorder. They learned how to trick people and we don't know who they are or not. But there those things like that do exist.
So women are just afraid to put their guard down? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say all the time, but in some cases that could lead to a situation like this where it took you. And then if you're around headstrong
70
women,
years old, you feel me? Like
if you're around a bunch of headstrong women all the time and stuff like that, yeah. This is what
a lot of the women. So on that side of my family, there's a strong matriarchal environment, where the women are like, you know, they're revered and respected, and you know they're running shit. They're doing something. Some way, somehow, they got bread. They got. Our Ines used to work at the DMV. She, you know what I mean, like. Her daughters are, you know, they work at the hospital. They all worked at Yale. You know, they had decent wages. You know what I mean? You get paid a decent amount of money. Let's just say, if we put a amount on it, they're making over $50,000 a year when people were only making about $30,000 a year. You know what I mean? So they were doing pretty well. You know what I mean? And probably now it's a lot more because they've got 17 years in versus just starting off. You understand what I'm saying? So these women feel like
and
if the nigga ain't, if he don't get right, he could get left type shit. You know what I mean? This is how I'm moving. This is what I got. This is how I am. I'm a strong black woman. That type of, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with it because you want your daughter to be able to be somewhat well rounded. Mm-hmm. I don't feel bad if my daughter knows how to change a flat tire. Yeah. I don't feel bad if I taught my daughter how to fucking I'm sorry, excuse me. I don't feel bad if I taught my daughter how to fish. Mm-hmm. I don't feel bad if I teach my daughter how to hunt. Yeah. I don't feel bad if my daughter knows how to play sports.
But Smiley, the key word is if you're in there and your daughter's life to teach.
Well, I'm in their life, but
I'm just saying if there's no man
I'm
in
speaking,
the situation.
But no. I'm speaking in the sense of presence, because exactly. I know that the other issue is the lack of presence. But
does that come with submission though?
But this is what I'm saying. Submission is the relationship is already there. Exactly. You're in the relationship and you're not submitting. I'm in the relationship and I'm there for my child to make sure that the young lady that is being raised is being raised in a household, because there has to be, in my household, there has to be a level of understanding that I'm the leader. You have to get that shit. You have to be able to follow me off a cliff.
So that's my thing. In the same notion, you said auntie for 20 years wasn't under that rule. Wasn't under that for 20 years.
Had to learn. Some women gotta learn. It is crazy.
I understand.
It is crazy, right?
It's like.
But that's why
But that's why
is the man she with.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree. And I agree. And this is the point that I was trying to make.
And she's a good woman.
But this is the same point that I was trying to make.
Like some of the things that women do, like spit on you or put your hands on you or do stuff. She probably not doing. Yeah, like she might.
I respect that.
Or like I said, she gonna let you know how she feel, and then she might get an attitude if she having a bad day or something like that. Like how a lot of women be, but it's not nothing crazy. Where it's like
that's where we gotta be specific when we're talking about, hey, how is she being not submissive to her man? Like, is it she just doesn't cook for him first?
I think it's
you see what I'm saying?
Well,
no. Like, listen. The understanding of what she understood of submission was from my definition of what I gave to her. So my definition that I gave to her was submitting to their leadership. So in all means of what that means. So if you're saying cooking, then that can be an element of that. But we looked at it as an overall picture of that, submitting to his leadership. And she said her response to that was
that's heavy.
10 years. It is
and
heavy.
I take it as like she's saying if she wanted to do not just
because
I'm never listening.
I'm gonna do what I want to do.
But if I want to do something, and I don't care if you
And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking
only
about
in those
leadership
moments.
to
Other
a
than that,
fault,
she
no
probably
matter
was
what.
doing.
You're afraid that you're gonna follow me and I'm gonna be making a bad decision. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because she's good at leading herself. She's not good at leading a man.
She's good at leading herself.
She can never be good at leading a man. So for 20 years, she was like, I'm just gonna lead myself.
She's
in a marriage.
They're leading each other.
Wow.
You
can't be led if she's literally saying, I'm not under his leadership.
Because literally,
I'm not submitting. If submitting is under his leadership,
her opinion because she was a person in her
but
own
that's
right
deeper than that, though.
Got with her,
right.
so he
that's
valued what she had to say.
That's not just value. That's like literally.
Or the things that they disagreed on weren't that big in the measurement of their relationship because it didn't tear them apart.
Michelle and Barack.
Yeah, but
Michelle not
deeper.
going.
It's
Michelle
deeper
not
than
going
that.
to.
It's deeper than that. Let me tell you
they're
why.
Younger.
Let me tell you why. It's
So
deeper.
I would
Let me tell you why it's deeper than.
It's probably the same place with them.
It's deeper than.
She fails to submit to his leadership.
It's deeper than that because when he was first running and shit, you see what I'm saying? There wasn't none of that. Oh, she wasn't that. Yada yada yada. All of that shit. Hold on. All of that shit came afterwards. What I'm saying is, for 20 years straight, she admitted that she was not submitting to this man. That's wow. You see what I'm saying? It shouldn't take 20 years. Like, if you're married, like, I understand sticking it out, but it doesn't paint your uncle in a good light, because it's painting it like for 20 years he had to put up with what she wanted to do because she wasn't what he wanted to do. So that's like, that's a man not being in control of the relationship. That's what we were talking about when we was talking about Russell Wilson. We're not saying that he's a weenie. We're saying that he was in a situation where he wasn't in control. So guess what? That is not masculine. Mm-hmm. And that's why I wanted to talk about patriarchal, what was it? Patriarchal complex versus toxic masculinity. First of all, there is no toxic masculinity. If you're taking advantage of your gender role, that's your patriarch. You have a complex. You feel like because you're a man, you could do what you want to do because it's a man's world and yada yada yada.
Men are necessary.
That's not masculine. Right. That's not masculinity. You see
Women
what I'm saying?
are necessary.
That's not masculinity. And at the end of the day, like, I'm not trying to play I'm definitely not trying to play but I am saying, if you deal with a woman, this is your woman, and you're dealing with her for 20 something years, and for those 20 years she can comfortably say that, yo, I didn't have to listen to him, I just listened to what I wanted to listen to, and comfortably say that in public, then that's plain. Like, me personally, I would take that as like, yo, you're not only are you expressing this in front of everybody, but you're playing me.
All right, so
you don't think it matters what the thing is that you disagree on? Because if it's
that's a big thing. She didn't go under his leadership for 20 years.
Well, hold on.
No, but
and they was together.
What is the component umbrella of leadership? Does it matter what you're not leading on?
Yes. Because if
it's a bigger thing that could destroy the relationship,
you know why it matters?
But if it's something small, then you probably be like,
just because they're together doesn't mean that it doesn't matter. It does matter, because now you're saying the reason why she finally submitted is because she realized she probably wasn't going to get anybody else as good as he is. Just like you said, they deserve to be with each other. Not even that. She lucked up and is with somebody that put up with her shit for 20 years. That's a difference than the nigga that deserved to be with the woman that follows his leadership all the time versus I'm gonna do it when I want to or when I get into, like, yo, marriage is crazy.
I wouldn't say lucked up. A relationship is work.
She lucked up because she can't find that. She's not gonna just find that on the street.
Before I need to address
so that's luck.
Before it goes too left, because it keeps
then
going.
Every relationship is luck.
Can I please address
everyone that's still working?
Can I please address, please?
100%.
I have one thing because you're going on and on about it. Remember, this is all assumption because there's no context. The lack of context, it could be purpose because there's probably.
Come on, man. What you doing? Look at his, look at mine. No, it's not. Look at his, look at mine.
The lack.
Hold
Listen.
Look
me get yours, yo. Let me get yours. The lack of listen.
I'll put some more in there.
Nah, don't put no more in there.
Look, listen. The lack of context is basically, it could be for several reasons, but you just got to understand, we don't know why. There's hardships in a situation when somebody is going through something, and that shit could test you. It could make or break you. If you in a situation and somebody like, yo, I'm like, shit, I'm not gonna fuck with you after this situation. It might be like, yo, you gotta make a decision. It might be like something that's like, damn, we ain't got no place to be. We ain't got no place to stay. We ran out of all of our funds. We really you know what I mean? If you've ever been in a situation where you slummed out, you gotta live in your car with your ex, like that strengthens a relationship. You know what I mean? Cause y'all going through, let me finish. Y'all going through some shit. So because y'all going through some shit, you get closer to that person. You build a trauma bond with that person because of that shit that y'all just endured together. So now you got that, plus your already relationship, you know what I mean, there's a conflict, but you realize, like, you know, I'm glad you was here. You start to understand things a little bit different. It can still take time to rebuild after crisis. So you still got to go through whatever, and then you're ready to trust again. You're ready to follow this person again because they share the same last name. You know what I mean? Hold on, I'm almost done. They share the same last name. So you know that you've been with this person, so you've trusted this person to take under this person's legacy for the rest of your life and to, you know, until your demise. And something happened in life and you guys had to get through it, and somehow you survived the 31 years. It says a lot about that person. It says more than just, it says more than just a simp or, you know, beta or whatever the fuck, you know, whatever. I'm not even defending, but I'm saying that endurance for that period of time has to be something that's admired about that person. And then that also, in turn, that relationship, it might not just be just complacency. It might be really what love really is. It's the appreciation of the other person.
Okay. Yeah, we also don't know. Let me just say this one thing. We only heard her side saying that she just started submitting.
He was standing right there.
Yeah, he was standing there, but I'm saying we don't know what. There could have been things that went on in their relationship that also stopped her from not. They were together for a long time. We don't know. I mean, they didn't say that, but they're just playing devil's advocate. Like there could have been reasons within the relationship also that made her didn't feel safe to submit at some time. So, and we don't know. They're not saying that it was, but the point is that she, according to them, she's doing it now. So she changed her behavior and she realized that I don't think that's luck. I think anybody that's in a relationship for that long, that's work. A relationship is work. Like you get out.
Here's a level of time.
Can I say something?
Nah, go ahead.
It is luck because there has to be a level of fortunate that she found that person that was willing to put up with her not being on his page for 20 years.
I'll give you that.
There has to be.
I'll give you that.
And this is all I'm saying is I'm not mad that he did it, and he, like E said, was the person to do it.
I think fortunate would probably be a better word. Maybe.
That's
fortunate.
What I was saying. All I'm saying is if you assess the facts, right? It's the same thing with Russell Wilson. It's not that he is not masculine. It's just that if she is willing to say certain things, it's because she's with a certain person. And Russell Wilson and Unc is both the same type of people that will allow.
Stop talking about celebrities because I feel like.
Can I just say something? Can I just finish? Can I just finish though?
Them.
Can I just finish? All I'm saying is
he be in the comments saying baby number 5. Like, so he sees shit that she be posting and he be in the comments cheering her on, which means he like that because he like, that's my whatever.
It's
she
his
coming
legacy.
home.
Those
like,
are his kids.
I really don't think he's bothered by whatever she's.
This is my point though, E. All I'm saying is the point is certain men in general, we're not gonna talk about celebrities. Certain men in general allow their women to say certain things, right? And certain men It's like, oh, I dare you to say some shit like that. And all I'm saying is I can't give too much credibility to the men that allow their women to talk about them in any type of way. I can't give that. I can't be like, oh yeah, I understand. I don't understand that. Because I rather a man, I'd rather Kanye do that wild shit with his wife. Right? Because that's the
But
the
is that growth? What do you think that is?
It's honesty. It's
It's
honesty. It's reality.
But
it's taking out the emotions out of everything and saying
honesty.
this is what it is. Some people are lucky to have somebody that will put up with their bullshit.
With their honesty?
Right? With anything, with their baggage in general.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Some people are lucky because guess what? Not everybody will find love. Not everybody will get married. Not everybody will have children. Not everybody will have a legacy to pass on. Right? So hold on. So how you do it matters. Right? So now if you're saying that the way he did it compared to the way somebody who didn't have to, whose wife would never say, "Oh, I just put up with I just learned to submit."
I was having a
20 years.
conversation, a conversation.
I get it.
It wasn't in the auditorium in front of 30 people.
I get everything y'all saying.
Because the lack of context gives you this underlight of the situation. It wasn't like what you think.
So what is it specifically that she didn't submit to then? Because that's where the problem lies.
If it's not that I posed about why does a woman not want to submit, but she wants, and then that was her response.
Because she asked, what do you mean by submission?
She wasn't trying to put him
you mean
down.
like sex? And I was like, no, not really, but like that's that could be one aspect of it, but basically to their leadership.
And she said for 20 years she didn't. That's it.
Right.
That's all we're talking about.
And that's it. But to think of all the other to think of all the other elements to dismiss the longevity. Okay, yeah, definitely.
Eyes. I am. I'm ticky-eyed. Where's water? Can I get some water? Ain't no water.
I got it in the fridge. I gotta pour it in.
Watch the cord.
Yeah. Oh.
Did it move?
No.
It jiggled a little bit. I like when it jiggles a little bit.
No, what I'm saying is that he's not that guy, but he cares about his wife, he cares about his family. He's a family dude. He's a handyman. He likes to do stuff around the house. He likes to be the guy that's gonna go down the steps. Right.
Yeah,
but in the aspect of she had to learn to submit to his leadership, he had to be tolerant. I'm saying that for a man to succumb to that type of testament, yeah, a woman is fortunate to find a man that's gonna succumb to that and teach you so that you can become more submissive and learn to respect their leadership and follow their leadership.
Saying the same thing, big dog.
You know what I mean? It's nothing wrong with Unc. It's nothing wrong with the situation, but the thing is, they were together for quite some time, married for quite some time, ups and downs.
Yeah.
So that's why they wanted to make sure that it was real. I mean,
but you
being
personally,
together,
right or wrong?
But older is different.
I understand.
That's what I'm saying, because you got all that life experience.
I understand, but you personally, right or wrong, you wouldn't want your woman to admit that in public. Even if that was the case.
That she didn't submit
to you for
ego,
20 years.
I would not.
Regardless.
You're right.
That's all I'm saying.
You're right. It's ego, though. I also recognize it's a bit.
And it depends on.
It's a bit egotistical of me
for me
not to be comfortable. Hold on.
Even if you don't,
it's a little egotistical of me for me not to want to acknowledge the truth of this situation, because look, it shows something of me as a man. All right, I've accepted this, and you know what? Yeah, so what? I still took that. That's
And
more,
nobody's
that's
perfect. You're gonna
stronger
have to put up
than a
with
nigga
something
being
from
like,
somebody,
nah, you
whoever
full
you're
of shit
with.
and crashing out and throwing dishes and shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's
It's
a different.
not about the man.
No. But
Stop trying to spin the
nah,
narrative
I'm not spinning
on what
nothing.
you
I'm not
could
spinning
do.
nothing. I'm making a point.
So
I'm making a point.
That's your point, though.
I'm making a point.
Your point is,
my point is
if
that
you're
it's
so
a lot
stoic,
different.
then it won't. It'll rub off your shoulders.
Right? But I'm just saying, it's a difference in being a different type of man and dealing with the situation a different type of way.
That's not taking accountability
crash
for
out,
the woman
or
and
you
her
could not.
actions, bro.
But
She took accountability.
No, she
by
didn't.
You said what it
admitting
is.
that
She
did
took
that.
If you're having a
accountability
conversation
and
with somebody
said
saying
something.
that, they said the
She
truth.
said something.
You said the
Even if
truth.
it's true, if it's
What?
disrespectful to
It's
her
not
man,
disrespectful if
it
it's
is
true. It's
disrespectful.
only disrespectful if you meant for it to be disrespectful.
It's
It was meant
disrespectful
to be
if
the
it's
truth.
nobody else's business and you're trusting
How
your.
is it nobody else's business if
Listen
you
to
ask
what
the
I'm
question?
saying. Listen to
They're
what I'm saying.
telling you that.
Smiley,
They choose to disclose
Smiley,
that personal
listen to what I'm
It
saying.
depends on
They
the
didn't
person
both.
who's
They didn't
okay.
both tell
You
that
can't-
shit.
but he
Don't
was
try to spin
there,
that
he
narrative.
trying
It
to-
doesn't
If
matter
somebody
what he
wants
was
to
there
give you
for.
information,
How many
then
times
that's-
have you been
it's
with
nothing-
somebody and they said something that you don't agree with? Are you just gonna be quiet with this shit?
and that's what says.
All I'm
says
saying
whatever
is,
about that person.
all
That's all.
I'm saying exactly.
That I don't agree with. Something
If
about
somebody,
me, or just-
if you're with a guy, right, and he is having a conversation, and you're with him, he's having a conversation. If he says something that you told him in private, even if it was fucking true, would you have a problem with it, or would that just be cool?
But that's not.
No, not but.
That's
Answer the
her
question.
acknowledging
Answer that
she
question.
knows
Answer that
that-
question. Answer that question. Answer that question. Would you have a problem with him sharing something?
moving the goalpost.
No, I'm not. I'm telling you what
But
it
that's
is, and y'all trying to move the goalposts.
That's not
It's the
nothing
same
that
difference.
he told-
If he listen,
She's acknowledging.
he chose. Listen,
She answered
he
the question
chose.
on her
Listen,
answer.
he chose to be like, yeah, I'm standing on it. That shows what type of man he is. But who she is the person that expressed his business without them having that conversation of, hey, do I want my shit out there? All I'm saying is the type of man he is was like, nah, I'm standing on it because guess what? It works for me. And I'm not mad at that. But those type of niggas is different from the niggas that's like, look, you're not going to say anything that's going to disrespect me out in public. And that don't sound wild. That's masculinity. That's not toxic masculinity. You know why that's important? Because you're up. Hold on. Because I'm trying to let me speak. Let me speak.
And I want to say something.
I'm saying, you know why it's not toxic masculinity? Because it's literally, I show that I'm in control by how you act, not just how I act.
Why do you have to?
Because
if you're in control, you don't have to show it.
Smiley,
Nah, go ahead,
because there will be times, when when your woman says some shit out of pocket that you don't want her to say.
Like,
it is more masculine to have a woman that listen.
Oh,
it is more
masculine.
It is more masculine to have a woman that knows that, yo, I'm not going to say certain things that is going to be a detriment at my man's character.
It's not it.
That is it.
So
you don't submit to your you don't submit to your husband for 20 years.
To be with her, so then it is what it is.
That's not what it is. What it is, bro. What it is
at that point.
You have so men shouldn't. So men don't deserve women that they.
That's another conversation. We can have that next.
Yeah, that's a separate. Okay, listen. One, we don't know what, because first of all, if he did disagree, I believe that if you gonna get into a disagreement or something with your spouse or whatever, I don't think you should do that in front of people. That's one. And we don't know what was said after we left. If he did feel away, he could have had a conversation with her afterwards or whatever. So we don't know.
So that's better than knowing not to say certain things to trigger?
Can I go?
I'm sorry.
It took it for a long time. So I don't think. It depends what it is. I honestly don't believe that he was bothered by it. It depends on the person. The person who's in the situation is the one who determines if it's disrespectful or not. You can't put your view of what disrespectful is on that person because the person has to feel disrespected. Just because you think you would be disrespected if they said that to you, and even other people, there might be some other people that doesn't bother, or depending, like I said, who you're saying it to. They know we're family, we love them, we're not doing it are asked these questions, or we're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? We're not trying to turn it against them, or not. They know we love them, so I don't think he really was offended that she said that. And it's not like she just brought it up out the blue or posted it online or something. We asked her a question, and that was her response.
Can I ask you one thing?
And if he did have a problem with it, that's for them to discuss on their own.
Cool. We're not talking about them. Let's talk about you specifically, right? You don't think it's disrespectful to say that you don't have to submit to your husband for 20 years? You don't think that's disrespectful?
Is that what she said?
She said she didn't do it for like,
that's
or for
even
the
worse.
last, I think she said for the last 20 years, so maybe it was 10.
So do you think that's disrespectful? Not taking her out. Let's just say anybody said this about their husband. You don't think there's any disrespect that's in that statement? You personally. I'm talking about you. You talking about him. Talk about you.
That's expressing growth, acknowledging that you learned from a mistake.
So somebody said,
because you realize that
camera, y'all heard this. If somebody said to her, no, that's what I asked you. That's what I asked you. That's what I asked you. I said, do you, if something, not your aunt, I said, if you just heard in the street a married woman saying that for 20 years that she did not submit to that man, she said that's growth. Wow.
Because they're still together and now she's doing it. That's what I'm saying. She grew.
So where's the accountability?
She's taking accountability by acknowledging what she's doing, and the behavior has changed. That's what accountability is. Acknowledging you're at fault.
That's not taking accountability. You know what that is? That is literally ignoring the fact that for 20 years listen to what I'm saying. Hold on. For 20 years, this man has been putting up with what she felt like was the best for her because she's not listening to him, according to her, right? And there's no big ups to that man for that shit.
You asking a question?
Yeah.
I've been saying yeah.
So all I'm saying is, hold on. So listen to what I'm not putting him down. I'm literally saying that I have a difference of opinion when it comes to relationships. I believe that you can't be in a relationship with somebody who doesn't look out for your best interest in front of the world.
Look out for his best interest.
If you say, hey, for 20 years, we were married and I didn't submit to you, that's not looking out for your best interest.
Why?
Because for 20 years, you didn't look out for their best interest. You looked for your best interest. That's clearly the opposite. You didn't look out for anybody else's. You looked out for yours. That's wrong. We're going to take accountability and we're going to say, yo, listen, for 20 years, I fucked up and you let me fuck up and I'm cool. Yeah, I messed up. You let me messed up. And now we're cool and we got to that point because you let me mess up. That's accountability. The fact that I messed up and you let me come back, I respect you and this is why I'm going to listen to you. That's accountability. That's not what she did. No, that's not what she did.
What if the man messed up? Is it the same if he said I was terrible?
If the man messed up,
that's not even terrible. That's one aspect. That doesn't mean she doesn't have his best interest. Doesn't mean she doesn't.
If the man messed up,
doesn't mean that she didn't try to see where he was.
If the man messed up,
it's one thing, and you're painting in a whole picture as like you're just a bad
person in a relationship. Hold on.
And
let me answer your question. Let me answer your question. If a man messes up, it's always on the man anyway. So we're not even going to talk about her being wrong. She's not wrong. She was misled, right? Now, you can't take accountability for being misled, E. So I can't put no blame on her if the man messed up. That's not what happened. In this situation, we're praising the man, aren't we? We're saying that it took a different type of nigga to put up with what he had to put up with, whatever he had to put up with for 20 years. We're not talking about perfection. We're talking about a woman. Listen, we're talking about a woman that says, hey, it's okay that I didn't submit to you for 20 years, but because now we're together and I am submitting to you.
She's not saying it's
She
okay.
didn't say it was okay. That's
Right.
the point of mentioning it in the
Exactly.
first place, acknowledging that that's because she's no longer doing it.
And you
She
gotta
had to
consider
realize
a wise decision at her age to acknowledge that she should have been done this sooner.
So I'm just saying,
taking accountability.
okay, so like in both of y'all, what I'm saying to both of y'all, I understand that she is taking accountability now. But what I'm saying is for 20 years that she didn't, right? The reason why she was able to be in this relationship, the successful relationship that she made it to, was the type of man. So in order to big up this man, wouldn't it have been better if she was like, well, we've had our ups and downs. And it hasn't been easy, but we pulled and we figured it out. Versus,
because
hold on, versus,
am I answering? Oh, okay.
Versus what she actually said, which was for 20 years, I didn't submit.
I prefer second. You know why?
Why?
Because we can have this conversation. With ups and downs, everybody, that's cliche. We always hear that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people do hide that. You know what I mean? She's not, to family, she's more, hold on. To family, she's more consentful to give, you know, certain information because it's in a place of confidence and love. Where we understand it is a safe space to talk about this. If we ask you a valid question and you care to share, you know, your name won't be disclosed or anything like that. I will protect you in that form, but also understand that what you're saying is this is a teaching moment.
Yeah, this is something that women need to hear.
So like from somebody else, from somebody at an age already.
But she didn't tell
hear that from somebody
she didn't
of
tell
an age
y'all
already.
She didn't tell y'all why
she
didn't tell y'all why she did submit.
But you know what?
And how did I know that?
You're right.
How did I know that? I wasn't
there. It doesn't.
This is my problem with what she said.
You know what?
Y'all.
I think
this is my problem with what she said.
The reason why?
Because she didn't tell y'all how to benefit or where to take the learn. No, hold on. She didn't tell y'all. She didn't tell y'all the
submit to the leadership.
Exactly, but she didn't tell y'all the main. She didn't tell y'all that. She didn't say why she did submit it. She told you that she didn't. No, but it's not about. We're talking about what she said, and we're talking about what she said and how it comes across, right? If you're taking, if you and E are taking the stance that this came across as a credit to this man, then that's cool. But me personally, I think that she could have did a better job. Specifically, she should be more appreciative of the fact that he put up with her shit for 20 years and she could say this, that she made it past that, but it's all because of him. It's like you gotta give, that's why I said it's important to give the credit on why you started submitting. Why you said, you know what, I should submit to this man. Even though she might have had trauma in her past, even though she might have been through some shit, even though whatever the situation was, whatever she was going through, at some point she said, you know what? It's better to listen to and follow the leadership of this man. This is what I'm saying. That's what the fuck nobody know about, because nobody talk about that shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, that shit should be talked about. That shit should be, and the only reason why I'm saying it is because I'm starting to figure that shit out myself from the married people that I'm talking to. Right? From the married people that I could say, okay, honestly, these people...
You feel like they're not happy?
No. I do feel like they're happy, but I feel like they're only happy if they're under good leadership, right? And it's usually the man. If the dude is a solid dude, and he's going to pick, usually, especially if he's experienced and been through it, he's going to eventually get to the right girl, right?
Right.
As long as they have the similar goals on where they want to go to, she's going to follow his lead. Because she likes him, because she's attracted to him, because she fucks with him. She don't want to be out here fucking with everybody, messing with everybody else. She likes him specifically. So she's going to follow his leadership. The problem is, if men don't know how to choose women, if women don't know how to choose men, then we're just choosing off vanity. We're just choosing off of, just what we like at that moment. You see what I'm saying?
What this person look like.
And the problem with that is there's certain standards that we overlook. And look at this situation. This is an older situation where she had to figure out that, what I say doesn't trump my man's judgment, because if I really believe his judgment is coming from God. You see what I'm saying? Them specifically being religious.
He's the bishop.
That's what I'm saying. Them specifically being in that religious realm. She's seen her ways and said, you know what? This has to change because I believe in this man. After all that we've been through. You see what I'm saying? That should be
That's lit, though.
Yeah, that should be bigged up more in his favor. That's all I'm saying.
It is.
I don't think it is.
No. It is, but I pride her.
Because y'all not telling me no other situations where.
Well, no. Remember, I was telling you
like
somebody that was celebrating their 25th year anniversary. That was who I was talking about before. Yeah.
Okay.
But I was saying
together though.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's different from what she's doing to celebrate him specifically.
Nah, but listen,
it's not about her. We gotta attach.
They just had a birthday party.
But even if the birthday she's there and.
But listen,
I'm not saying she don't.
No.
I'm just saying that
but
for 20 years.
In your defense, you don't know much about it. We just gave you the context of the situation.
Yeah.
It is a good component in this discussion. She didn't even know. Her just saying her reply to what the question actually was actually an example of that. All right. Actually an example of that. So it just like really looked like, all right, so I really didn't just start doing this until but I had to learn that this is something I should have did. I should have been to this, and
I just want to know why.
And I'm curious too at this point, but I think that because what you see on the outside, you always see a beautiful relationship, but marriage is work. Being with somebody, like, you gotta really think about that.
A lot of women are not taught to submit to a man,
and that's why.
So you gotta unlearn that behavior,
especially growing up around a lot of independent women.
But how is there a quicker way to learn it? Like, does it take 20 years? Like, you see what I'm saying? We gotta know how, because there's a lot of women that's just
when
like
you
auntie
meet
that's
somebody,
like, nah, nigga, I don't trust
in a certain
somebody
space
else
in life.
You see what I'm saying?
You gotta really be like, all right, this is what I'm going through right now, and you have to accept this as it is or not. And a lot of dudes don't want to deal with people that got kids. So then that's another dynamic.
That's real. You got to be a different type of nigga, and that's why I respect that. Like, for me personally, I always said, like, I'm not gonna go bigger than what I got going on. So if I got a daughter, I'm not gonna say, oh, somebody with a child. You know what I mean?
He always been lit, yo. Like, I remember I used to go and play Nintendo Super Mario at his crib, all day.
The older generation that play games,
he was my guy, bro. Like, he is my guy.
They the truth.
Shout out.
The older generation that play games is the truth.
But I just want to tie the end of it like this. Like, I'm just saying, like, longevity in a relationship doesn't necessarily mean that it's great, it's the best ever.
But it's a flex.
But it is a flex, and it's a testimony of that. It takes something to get it. Like you're not just gonna like go in there and it's just gonna work out the first year. The first few months could be hell, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But then it's like, will you endure it? Do you care enough about this person to endure it? And does that make you a bad person for checking a woman into a psychiatrist or what? Taking that extra mile? Like, if you meet someone that's broken and you try to fix their wing, like, are you overdoing it by doing that?
Yeah, because you're creating the environment that you want to live in. So if you want to damage woman, then you're that type of nigga that wants damaged women or don't mind dealing with somebody that's damaged in a way that you feel like you could fix her. But if you want the woman that you want, she's probably not going to be damaged. She's probably going to be bad. Especially if you feel like you got money.
Are you looking for that?
It depends, because niggas get what they can, basically.
That part.
So at the end of the day,
sometimes the person that you fall in love with is gonna be there. So you could try to find someone that's not, but you're not.
Like, what if you meet
I think-
somebody in
feel the
passing
same.
and they from what
You know
from
what
what
this
you
is?
see visually, like, oh yeah, they what it is.
I think this is
And
more.
then you pour deeper into the layers
think
of the
this is-
person, and then you can walk away, or you be like, you know what, it's not that bad.
I think this is more of an example of if you stick with it long enough, then I can learn to love you. It's not really, this is some old love at first sight shit. This is some, like, if you stick with me long enough and deal with
What if
I
it's
don't
all
love?
the
What
shit,
if it's love
and
at
I'm not
first
mad
sight?
at that. I'm
What
not.
if it is that though?
It could
I don't
we
think
won't
it's
know
love.
it's that.
I mean, not really love
We
at
won't.
first sight.
We
but
won't know it's
you
that.
visually are appealed.
We won't
like,
know it's that
you're
because
attracted to
as
this
a
person.
woman, if you really love somebody, it's hard not to submit to them. It's hard not to submit to them. So, like, if you really love that person, but I feel like
They
if,
said that on the
if,
detective show.
if you put that time on it,
If you loved him, she would have did anything for him.
I mean, that's what real love is for a woman. You see what I'm saying? That's the actions that she is gonna give you is, yo, I'm in your corner 100%. If she really love you, if she don't really love you, then that's different. She gonna show that she don't really love you in certain ways, and that's all I'm saying. I just feel like in that way, it was like he was loving her a little bit more than she was loving him.
All right.
Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you one more time. Yeah, bless you, right?
Okay. So, and to end this, I'm gonna say this monologue from Baby Boy.
Get it.
'Cause
Here we go. You and your baby boy quotes.
She's like, I just feel so dumb. Yvette, you're not dumb. You just in love. You just in love with a man. When you in love, sometimes you could be high, so high you just be in outer space. And sometimes it can make you feel low. And sometimes stay there. But if you don't got, I don't remember the exact word, but if you don't got enough, if you giving all you can to him and you don't got enough for yourself or to give to your child, how you gonna have it to give to him? Don't worry about getting used. Men use women, women use men. You just gotta face the fact that you're gonna be used. But if you use to the point that you don't got nothing left, if your cup is run over, then how you gonna take care of your son? How you gonna take care of yourself?
Then in real life, she's doing an orgy at 50-something years old. Fuck road. Shit crazy, yo.
And I added some extra, cause I forgot. I was trying to find it before I said it, but I really like some movies be having some good gems.
Good advice,
like,
yeah.
And Friday, he was like, you think that girl make you a man?
Ah.
He was like,
He learned from that from his daddy.
He was like, you win some, you lose some.
But
But you live.
I didn't
Another fight another day. All right, well, where are you going? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Get Lifted. 30 is the new 20. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're notified the next time we post or go live. I'm La Hefa.
I'm hot. Chris O.D.
I'm SmileyJizzle. And we are, oh yeah, check out Summers, available on all platforms. SmileyJizzle featuring Rich. Summers. Yeah, it's hot as fuck. All right.
Stop saying that every video.
Every F-bomb. At least